Wow, the ultimate reality. Everything must change. That would be the truth. Don't we know it? Things never stay the same. And yet somehow we catch ourselves, COVID hit and, we got through that and everybody's going, can't wait till it gets back to normal. Back to normal. Well, we're not moving backwards, we're moving forwards. And normal doesn't exist. No, it does not. Normal is a word we use for really mediocrity. When we try to fit in and we're trying to be like everybody else, and what we do is we fall short. We fall short of what we are capable of. We buy into things that really have no power of their own, but become powerful as we embody them. So Ernest Holmes wrote in The Science of Mind, and you would have seen this week, sickness is an experience, but not an ultimate reality. It is an effect and not a cause. The body devoid of mentality could neither know nor have sensation. It is entirely an effect. The body is made of the same unthinking stuff from which all creation is formed. The instinctive human is perfect, but our individual use of life and law enables us to cover a perfect idea with an apparently imperfect cloak. So when we're going through our day-to-day experience of living, which can be challenging, probably more often than not, and we wonder, why is this? Why is this? Well, why? Because of what it is we believe at the core of us. So what Ernest Holmes was talking about is that the core self of us is perfect, whole, and complete, always has been, never been touched, never been harmed. But the human aspect of us feels all kinds of things, thinks all kinds of things, and therefore can create or recreate pain for us simply by the way we think. So here's an example. You're getting ready to see an old friend that you have not seen in a couple of years, and you're pretty excited about it. And then all of a sudden you remember that the last time you saw that person, the two of you had a big quarrel. And your mind pulls that forward, that feeling that you had at that moment, the thoughts that you had at that moment, what you believe to be happening, occurring at that moment, and you bring that forward. Now you're sitting in a place of dread rather than excitement. What's changed? Thinking. Thinking makes it so. Every experience we have ultimately is neutral. And we know it's neutral because if everyone in this room looked at one thing, which you're currently doing right now, you're looking at your computer screen or your phone screen, there is one thing going on. That thing is neutral. Now, some of you might look at it and go, wow, this is really interesting, and call it good. Somebody else might look at it and go, I'd rather be in bed sleeping, and call it boring. And somebody else might go, this is just not, there's no way this is true. And so they'll call it bad. Who's right? And so it is with every single thing that's going on in the world. How we view it is personal, and how we view it will make it be what it is for us, but not necessarily for anybody else. So as you look at your life and as you observe the things that are going on, it's really important that we begin to detach from the stuff out here that we think is controlling us and go back to the essence of our being and begin to control or use the power in a way that allows us to share our brilliance, our uniqueness, all of that. We want to be able to share our true voice, begin to speak about things as they really are, rather than, candy coating them, which we sometimes do. So he goes on to say in the book that the instinctive human is perfect, but our individual use of life and law enables us to cover a perfect idea with an apparently imperfect cloak. So I'm experiencing a cold for the last couple of days, and so that cold has no power whatsoever, except the power I give it. So how do we give it power? We do things like going, oh, I'm so sick. Oh, I feel awful. Somebody asks you how you are, and you're going, oh, I'm a dragged out dish rag. That's how I feel. And what happens is that then begins to pull into our experience more and more ideas that match that thought pattern. But if we can sit in this experience, and it's just an experience, it's neither good nor bad, it simply is. And it's an experience that is taking me somewhere. And it's fascinating that today, the first quote I would share would be sickness is an experience, but not an ultimate reality. The body just sort of falls in alignment with whatever's going on. So, because there's a consciousness of sickness in the collective, what happens is we are all subject to that collective thought unless we pull ourselves out of it. So my minister who trained me, she was real clear. I never get sick, she said. Never, ever, ever. And in many years, she trained us for 5 years. In all that time, I never once saw her miss a day or show up sick or anything. Just nothing. So there's something about how we think about our experiences that become a reality for us and not for everybody. So the ultimate reality is back of that. The ultimate reality is that divine power within us. Ernest Holmes says, as we become individualized, we consciously think and continuously pour suggestions into our subjective, which is the silent builder of the physical body. Through the field of subjectivity, thought always works out to a logical conclusion. So who here has ever looked in the mirror and went, oh, God, I wish I was thinner. I wish I was thicker. I wish I was smarter. I wish I had fewer wrinkles. I wish. Anybody ever do that? What we're doing is we're saying to ourselves that somehow I'm not good enough. We're saying to ourselves that somehow there's something wrong. What would happen if instead we look in the mirror and we get all excited and we go, it's going to be a great day today. I just know it is. I feel so excited and delighted. I'm elated. I'm happy to be here. I just cannot wait to get into this day. And it's going to be amazing. I know that. Somebody says, what are you doing today? And you go, I have no idea. They might ask, well, why are you so excited? Because I can be. Why not? What is the alternative? See, we have an opportunity to get excited, to get filled with that essence of the divine and stand in our true power, our authenticity, and really shout out to the universe who and what we think we are. You see, we have been created perfect, whole, and complete, and we're acting broken and flawed. Do you think there's something wrong with that? The equation is perfect. We are perfect, whole, and complete. Full stop. Yeah, full stop. So I want you to repeat, I am perfect, whole, and complete. I am perfect, whole, and complete. One more time. I am perfect, whole, and complete. When we say that about ourselves, I don't know about you, but when I say that, I get a little tingly feeling in my body. Like it just feels really good. So we can start our day with excitement and delight, or we can start our day going, oh, I feel so sick. So Ernest Holmes said in The Science Mind, disease can be healed through reversing the thought and turning to the spiritual realization of life. It is impossible to divorce real mental healing from true spiritual realization, since God is all, Spirit is all, higher power is all. Okay? So we cannot heal without it because it is all it is. I know. Here we go, right? So he goes on to say the use of mental argument in healing rests upon the theory that we are surrounded by a universal mind which reacts to our thought. That's simple, right? And he goes on to say right mental practice is the constructive use of mind. So, for example, a mental argument given for the purpose of presenting the spiritual truth about people, wrong mental practice is the destructive use of mind. A mental argument given for the purpose of presenting a false claim about humans. So, when we're giving a destructive mental argument, that's when we're standing in front of the mirror. I'm just using that as an example. There's many times we do it, but we're standing in front of the mirror and we're going, oh God, if I could just lose 10 pounds. Wonder if I should go get a facelift. I'm starting to feel like I've got some lines. Eyelids are drooping a little. What should I do? Oh, this, man, I don't really love this. That is destructive thinking. And destructive thinking leads us into destructive patterns. It draws into our experience everything that matches those ideas. Constructive thinking is, I am powerful, I am positive, I am divine, I am intelligent, I am creative, I am here. I am here. And because I'm here, I know I've got something important to do. I feel good. When we say that to ourselves, say that to yourself, I feel good. Say it really, really loud so other people in your house hear you and think you're lost it. I feel good. I feel good. Yeah. Allow yourself to get into that energy of feeling good and watch how it changes the feeling of ugh. The minute we can get excited and delighted about life, the minute we lift ourselves up, when we begin to look at the ultimate reality as that of the divine, which is within us, around us, being us, when we get that and we start to live from that understanding, we begin to create a life that moves easily and joyously and comfortably in and through the world. And as a result of that, we begin to create harmony, love, joy, peace wherever we go. And it doesn't mean we get every little thing we wished for or every little thing we wanted. You see, whatever we want, we'll continue to want because the universe is responding to wanting and wishing. But when we get into a clarity of, I know I'm one with the divine, I know that the divine is right here being me, it is intelligent, it's powerful, it knows all. So if I sit in that power and presence and I bring that forward each day, what happens is I am bringing love and light and peace and joy into the world. Yes. So I'm making a difference. And here's the trick. Like when we're doing spiritual mind treatment, you'll notice when I do treatment with you, if I have, that I will invoke your name at the beginning. So I might say Kathy or Nick or Sharon or Sandeepa. And I say that name at the beginning. And then what I know is Sandeepa is perfect, whole, and complete. Nick is a divine expression of the infinite and absolute. Kathy is a piece of the eternal universe, reflecting perfection and divinity at all points, all points of time and space. Sharon is a powerful, positive, productive person of incredible intelligence, sharing light and love in the world today. See, when we start to talk about ourselves in a new way, when we start to stand up in a new way, when we begin to look at, everything is change, as Cheryl said in her song, everything is changing. If everything is changing, what is the constant? That's right. Spirit, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, Fred, whatever you want to call it. That is the ultimate reality, and that never changes. It is exact in all things that it thinks and does. So we think a thought, it goes into the law says yes and brings it about. What am I thinking? And what is the result? What am I thinking? What is the result? What am I thinking? What is the result? Where is my power? My power is in what I'm thinking. And I can change my thoughts. We know that because we've done it before. Every one of us. So when we come to a practitioner and we're going to get treatment work for this, that, or the other thing, that person's going to speak our name. And we are known in mind by the name we bear. And any statement made in mind about our name will cause some action to take place through the law towards us. And this is the basis of all mental healing. So it doesn't matter if you're in the same room or in the same city or even in the same country. There is a consciousness that is collective, that all of us are a part of, and it's that subjective consciousness. That's where we are one. And it is in that place that we do our work. So a practitioner is one who recognizes people as a spiritual reality. This is Ernest Holmes' words. Since there is but one mind, the practitioner does this within themselves. Through the medium of the one mind, these statements rise to objective conditions in the patient, according to the practitioner's belief and according to the ability of the patient to receive the truth. So there's a collaboration that happens when we are having treatment with a practitioner. They are knowing within themselves the divinity that we have, and they're speaking that in a way to impact that subjective thought where our memories are held, our beliefs are held, all of that. We want to go in there and dig out truth. We don't want to pull up any more stories about this and that awful thing. What we want to do is go, yeah, that happened, and I'm resilient. Here I am. I'm still marching forward. I'm still living life. I'm still being loud and excited and over the top sometimes. That is who I am. I am a divine being who expresses however she expresses, and I'm okay with who I am. So when we get to that place of being okay with who I am, and we go to a practitioner for treatment, and they tell us, how wonderful and marvelous and terrific we are, like, whew, that lands nicely. And it goes into that part of us that believes, that has faith that the infinite eternal one is present here. That's all we have to remember. And the practitioner who's working with us, well, aren't they remarkable? They've done a lot of training and they do a lot of work, and they can do it whether it's in person or it's somebody off a long ways away. And here's the thing, if one disease could be healed, every disease can. If the thought were as sure of itself in one case as another. See that surety, right? We have to be sure. When we're doing treatment, we have to know that our word has power. We have to know that the word is the thing. And it's that energy behind it, the energy we bring is so powerful. So he goes on to write, there is no personal responsibility in healing. The practitioner directs the power and lets it work. Okay? So if you come to me for treatment, I'm not healing you. I'm directing this infinite power in a way that you can maybe receive it and experience the healing from there. So one does not hold thoughts in mental healing. A practitioner does not try to suggest, hypnotize, or mentally influence. They simply know that the patient is now a spiritual being, and they hold to that belief. No matter what the appearance may be, right mental treatment does not tire the one giving it. He goes on to write, personal magnetism has nothing to do with mental healing. The whole basis of the possibility of mental healing rests upon the premise that we live in one creative mind, and it reacts to our belief. It is as though there were a universal ear listening to and hearing everything that we say, feel, think, and it is reacting to it. So, what is it that we're thinking, feeling, and believing? Yeah. So, the healing process it's not a process, but a revelation. It's about us remembering who we really are, and that's when the healing happens. So, as you're going through your day to day experience this week, I invite you to really, when you look in the mirror, go, yes, look what God created. Woo! This is good stuff. So let me take this good stuff out into the world. Let me share smiles and positive thoughts. Let me tell strangers how beautiful they look today, or how wonderful their singing is, or how tremendous their clothing looks today. Let's take time to share kindness and goodness wherever we go. Let's take a moment to breathe into life and share it fully. Let's not hold back. Let's tell people I love you over and over and over again. Let's tell them 1,000 times. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Let's do that. Let's make a difference in our world by being the change we would like to see in the world. The ultimate reality, of course, is divine. God, spirit, first cause. That is the ultimate reality. And so it is. Namaste.